Welcome, I'm Phil
And this is Darren.
from the No Guts, No Galaxy podcast. Today we bring to you Run Hot or Die, grand final match between Annihilate Pony and Chaos Legion.
That's right, Phil. This is the second match of the competition, best 2 out of 3, and takes place in Frozen City. And you know what? I was just thinking, Frozen City kind of reminds me of Montreal back on Terra.
So it's basically like 200-300 years in the future, and that's what's happened to the city. Is that where you're going at?
I don't know. So what are we watching here?
Well, we're looking through the perspective of Window, and Window is part of the ELP, the Eridani Light Pony, and he's rocking the Jenner again. In this video, that's what he was rocking last time. He's also got the 6 small lasers, jump jets, and seems to be the XL engine to be able to get up to their 140 kph.
And he's out there doing what scouts are supposed to do, which is locating enemy targets. He's already located 2. That's Alpha and Bravo, both Jenners. And you can see he just made a firing pass at Bravo. That's Insidious Johnson. The other Alpha being Smoke and Joe. So right now, it's a lot of Jenner on Jenner action that we can see. Let's see what else is happening.
Yes, well, the other scout actually scouted the caves to make sure no one was coming through the caves, and the rest of ELP is set up in Delta 5 and Charlie 5. And I think this is sort of a strategic move. 1, to make sure they don't get too far away from their base, and 2, so they can react from their left or right flank.
Yeah, again, we're seeing some of that, collisions. I was going to say some of that conservative playing, which we are seeing as well, as everybody's kind of holding back. Moving in now, since the collisions have happened, that means it's going to be a vulnerable target there, and you can see they're coming in for the kill. More knockovers and some lasers to the face.
Yeah, you just see how much collisions play effect in MechWarrior Online compared to previous titles.
Yeah, you know, you got those few moments when you're standing up that you're extra vulnerable, especially when you're in a scout. You don't want to be in that situation.
Now the ELP has sort of split now that you can see they're already converging back to the Delta 5 locations, but they're using the ridge, the drop zone, the ridge, as their primary sort of line. You don't see Chaos Legion sort of crossing that, so you got both these sides sort of taking pop shots at each other.
Yeah, it's hard to make that commitment and breach the ridge. Pretty much whoever does that is the first one under fire. We see some smoking mechs around here, so obviously some engagements have been happening.
Yeah, Mavericks, who's in the other Jenner for ELP, has taken a lot of damage. You can see some smoke when Windows were running by him. We don't know how much damage, but if he's smoking, well, that's never a good thing.
That's right, and here he goes, moving out. What's going to happen?
Well, I think what you saw there is he actually saw someone moving to the east on Chaos Legion. And I think what Windows trying to do is just sort of keep an eye on that to see if anybody's flanking around. I'm sure he's probably conveying to his teammates what he thinks is going on, you know. And if someone does flank from the east, he needs to be aware of it, and so does his friendly Jenner, so they can react accordingly.
Information warfare, that ever essential ingredient to success in this game.
Yeah, communication's a huge thing, and you know right now on their comms, they're going back and forth, what's going on, what targets they think they see, anything like that.
A lot of scouts. Now, I know some other targets are engaging at this point. We can't really tell what's going on since we're locked to this view, but as we see any information, we will definitely pass that along.
Yeah, one of the things being the scout, and especially this, is, well, he's still alive on that last round. He died a lot sooner, and so we got to see the spectator mode. But as you can see, in this one, it's a little bit different. Things, you know, are a little bit more cautious, and him and the other scout are working together a little bit more closely.
Now, it looks like the same targets lighting up. I've been seeing Alpha, that's Smoke and Joe, quite a lot. Have you seen any other mechs light up?
No, I really haven't at this time. And right now, what Window's doing is he's actually checking to make sure no one is flanking, again, from the east and upwards to north. You can see on that map that there's actually a little ridge line you can sneak behind. So I think they're very concerned with something going on and coming from the flank.
Which is understandable, as there's not a lot happening from the front line. So you start to wonder, well, what is happening then? What are the plans of these guys?
Well, there we go, another target. There's another Alpha. Again, we know they originally scouted the caves, but something could have moved through there. Chaos could be using the caves, or, you know, could be sneaking through the northern entrance there.
A lot of options, and that's what makes the scouts so useful here, is they're really the only ones that can get that information back to the rest of the team as to where the enemy is located and where they're moving.
And your blood's pumping, when you're doing one of these things, because, it's competition, and that's how it's supposed to be. So, they're all hyped up, and they're waiting to get this moving forward, but, anticipation, it's a killer.
Definitely adds to the excitement. At any moment, you could take a shot to the back, an arrow to the knee, I suppose.
Yeah, and you can see his friendly catapult there smoking. That may be bad, or it may be even worse, depending, because that catapult probably doesn't have any weapon in its arms. It may just be some, minor damage.
Now, we did spot target Foxtrot on the Chaos Legion. That is Machine in his K2 with 2 Gauss, 2 medium lasers, and AMS. Again, AMS, and as we noticed in the last match, not a lot of LRMs being used.
Now, while you're talking there, Darren, we've got base under attack.
So Windows and Mavericks are both heading back to base to see what is attacking there, and at the same moment, on another part of the battlefield, Kelthang has killed Drakeblade. So let's see what we find at the base here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we don't have any more info, but we have focus on the 2 scouts right here, and they're about to engage a Hunchback, but we don't know who this Hunchback pilot is or how much damage, but a 2v1 is always a good scenario.
Yeah, I'm always going to want to be on the 2 side.
Now again, Window isn't targeting this Hunchback, which makes it a little bit difficult to see the extent of the Hunchback's damage, or if there's any at all. We don't know if he's fresh or not.
Both mechs spent a little time on the ground there. Good time to get some shots in by his teammate.
Yeah, and Maverick's actually just collided on his way down, so he's taking more shots, which he was already hurt in the beginning. Now the Hunchback's just getting free reign over him.
Protection has killed Smoke and Joe, so there's another casualty in this battle. It is now 1-1.
Again, you can see how effective collision is. I mean, a fast-moving Jenner, 35 tons, running into that Hunchback, they both go toppling down.
Protection has now killed Christoph, so it's 2-1. And Cartman has killed William Knight, making the score even at 2-2.
Now Mavericks and this Hunchback collided again, and Window, because the Hunchback just got up, just collided, and again he's going to get a few free hits.
That looks painful. Machine has killed Protection, and Cartman has killed Tanky, while we're still engaged in this very close battle with the Jenners and the Hunchback.
See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to slow this thing down, this Hunchback, and they're ramming into him intentionally, but sometimes that's not always going as planned.
Yeah, you can see the damage to the Hunchback's been spread out pretty evenly, and he's well armed with 4 medium lasers and 2 medium pulse.
A few more casualties there. Chaos is up, winning by 5, and the ELP is down to 3. So let's see how this turns out. I mean, now we've got a 1v1, basically Window versus this Hunchback.
Armitage has killed Kelthang, and Armitage has killed Machine. He is on a killing spree.
So there are 3 individuals left on both teams, and including which these 2 on our screen right now.
Jenner versus Hunchback to the death. Who is going to win?
I don't know. This is tough. That Jenner, I mean, he's taking critical damage to the torso.
And Armitage has killed Tease. ELP now has the advantage, 6-5.
He's just trying to do as much damage as he can and hopefully not take a shot to the center torso, or else he's probably going to be out of the fight.
He has a lot more armor to work through than that Hunchback does, and down goes the Jenner. Save Us has killed Window.
Now we're spectating the ELP Hunchback that survived, the 4SP, and he's rocking the small laser and SRM-6 setup. And he actually has quite a bit of damage, Darren. His left torso, and if he's XL engine, this might be close.
Yep, would only take a couple shots, wouldn't it? And another collision.
Notice the hostile Hunchback has now lost his leg, though.
Now he's got to get... There he goes. Other side, protect that torso.
Now what he's talking about is the current pilot's actually shielding his torso. Now he's taken out the enemy mech, and they are now only 1 kill away.
Save us down, and it is 7-6 ELP ahead.
Well, we've got good game in local here. Looks like he crashed at the very beginning, so it looks like ELP has won the match, and I think they're just going to finalize it by finding him and taking him out.
Well, I have to say that was a good performance by both sides. I mean, those were definitely close matches, and obviously if this guy had not disconnected in the beginning of the game, it would have been even closer. So who knows where it would have led to, but it looks like ELP is going to be the winner of 2 of 3 matches.
This has been the Run Hot or Die grand final match between the Eridani Light Pony and Chaos Legion. On behalf of Darren and myself, the No Guts No Galaxy podcast, and MechWarrior Online, until next time, Mech Warriors.